Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. This isn't just some rumor floating around. We're talking about a potential blockbuster trade that could send shockwaves through the NFC North and set the tone for the Bears' future dominance. Sources close to NFL insider Adam Schefter have whispered that the Denver Broncos, currently sitting at a disappointing 7-8 record, are eyeing a bold move to shake things up. And the target? Patrick Surtain, one of the league's premier shutdown cornerbacks. Yeah, you heard that right. Surtain could soon be donning the navy and orange, and if it happens, it might be the kind of move that transforms Chicago's defense into a feared, playoff-caliber unit for years to come. The Broncos, who are struggling with a negative cap space of about $2 million and a defense ranked 20th in pass yards allowed, giving up around 220 yards per game, are looking to rebuild quickly. Their plan? Trade away Surtain, a young and elite cornerback, in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft, plus a backup CB from the Bears. This move is part of a broader strategy to inject youth and talent into their roster, especially after their defense has been leaking yards and turnovers lately. The Broncos are clearly in a rebuild mode, especially with injuries piling up on their defensive line and secondary, which has made their pass defense a weak spot. Meanwhile, the Bears, sitting comfortably at 11-4 and well on their way to the playoffs, are considering this trade as a way to bolster their secondary, which has faced some setbacks lately. With Jalen Johnson and DJ Moore dealing with injuries, Johnson being on IR since December 13 and Moore rumored to be a potential offseason trade candidate, adding Surtain would give Chicago a shutdown corner that can lock down opposing receivers and make their secondary a nightmare for quarterbacks. Remember, the Bears have been trending upward all season, and this move could be the final piece to elevate their defense into the upper echelon, making them a real playoff threat. Now, let's talk about Surtain himself. This guy is the real deal. Since entering the league in 2021, he's established himself as one of the best at his position. His PFF overall grade for 2025 is sitting at 73. 7, placing him 18th among all cornerbacks, which is impressive considering the quality of players in the league. His coverage grade is at 72.0, and his run defense is at 73.3, showing that he's not just a cover guy but also willing to fight against the run. He's accumulated 4 interceptions this season, with 50 tackles to his name, and his expected points added per target is 18, indicating how effective he is at limiting big plays. His yards after catch allowed per game is just 3.5, and his tackling grade is a stellar 89. 4, ranking him among the top in the league. Surtain's career stats since 2021 are equally impressive: 15 interceptions, a career PFF grade above 85, 2 Pro Bowls, and a coverage win rate of 65%. He's been injury-free in 2025, which is a huge plus for any team looking for stability at the cornerback position. His pass deflections stand at 36, and he posted a Week 10 grade of 92. 0 with 2 interceptions, drawing comparisons to top-tier corners like Sauce Gardner. His ability to elevate a secondary is clear, and his presence on the field could push the Bears' pass defense into the top 5, especially considering their current ranking at 8th in yards allowed per game. Why would the Broncos do this? Well, they're motivated by more than just improving their defense. They're seeking cap relief, saving around $20 million by moving Surtain, and looking to acquire draft assets to rebuild their offensive line and add depth, especially on the offensive front. Their run defense has struggled, ranking 22nd in the league at 130 yards allowed per game, and they need to make some tough decisions to turn things around. With their current injury issues on the defensive line, 2 starters out, this trade could be a way to free up cap space and get draft capital to rebuild their roster from the ground up. For the Bears, this isn't just about getting a talented player. It's about strategically positioning themselves for sustained success. Surtain could be the anchor that transforms their secondary into a lockdown unit capable of shutting down elite quarterbacks like Jordan Love, who has been lighting up defenses this season. with Certain's ability to shut down deep threats and reduce completion percentages, currently around 62%, but with the potential to drop to 50%. Chicago's defense could become a nightmare for offenses, especially in high-stakes playoff games. His inclusion would also significantly improve their turnover differential, which could jump by 6, making the Bears not only more disruptive, but also more opportunistic. Imagine the impact in the playoffs. With Certain patrolling the deep parts of the field, the Bears could limit the big plays that have haunted them in past seasons. This would allow their pass rush to pin back their ears and attack the quarterback more aggressively, knowing that their secondary can handle the deep routes. Their pass defense would look a lot different, and that's exactly what they need to bolster their chances of making a deep playoff run. And speaking of playoff implications, if this trade goes through, the Bears' Super Bowl odds could improve significantly. Currently, they're sitting at plus 800 odds, but with Certain in the fold, those odds could drop to plus 400. That kind of shift makes them a real contender, an X-factor in the postseason. Data-driven simulations show that with Certain, Chicago's chances of winning increase by about 18%, especially against top-tier QBs like Love. This is reminiscent of what the Broncos did back in 2015 when they built a secondary that helped carry them to a Super Bowl victory, and adding Certain could be that game changer for the Bears. This move also signifies a shift towards establishing a defensive dynasty for the Bears. Certain, still in his prime, would be a cornerstone for the team for years to come, helping them chase multiple rings. With a young core that includes players like N'Keal Harry, Darnell Mooney, and now possibly Certain, Chicago could be setting the stage for a sustained period of dominance. The secondary would be anchored for the foreseeable future, allowing the front seven to focus on pressuring the quarterback and creating turnovers. Of course, not everything is guaranteed. The Bears would have to weigh the risk of giving up future draft picks and how this fits into their overall rebuild plan. Given their current trajectory and the urgency for a secondary upgrade, this kind of move makes a lot of sense. It's a bold step, but one that could pay off big time, especially if they want to turn their defense into a nightmare for any team that steps onto Soldier Field in the playoffs. Now, let's not forget the human element here. Certain has been a model player, healthy in 2025, and showing all the signs of a shutdown corner who can change the course of a game single-handedly. His addition would give the Bears a blueprint to shut down the league's best receivers and make opposing quarterbacks think twice before throwing his way. The secondary becomes a fortress, and that's exactly what a team needs when aiming for a Super Bowl run. Plus, it sends a message to the rest of the league that Chicago is serious about contending, not just for this season, but for many more to come. In conclusion, this potential trade is one of those rare moves that could define a franchise's future. The Chicago Bears, with their current roster and draft assets, might just have the pieces to make it happen. Bringing in Certain would be a statement, an indication they're all in on building a top-tier defense that can carry them through the playoffs and beyond. The division rivals better watch out because a move like this could tip the scales and set Chicago up for a new era of dominance. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.